Will BlackRock launch an XRP ETF? That is the question of today. And really, what we're asking is who is going to be the first firm in the United States to launch an XRP ETF? Everyone's excited about the Bitcoin Spot ETF. We already know about that. But what I'm going to show you here in this video is that we already have a few ETPs, exchange traded products, that are already live. We have a new link here from Fidelity. We're going to talk about that. But before we do get into that, I just want to say thank you for all the support, guys. It really does help when you like the content, when you drop a comment down below. Really does help the show. So I just want to say thank you for everyone who participates with us on a daily basis by telling me what you think of the videos, by giving me a thumbs up, giving me a thumbs down, sharing it out far and wide. Really do appreciate it. Everything is at my website, zachrector.com. Now, with that being said, I wanted to give you guys a heads up on a few key events that are coming up this week. This one shared here by the Kobesi letter. First off, on Wednesday, we get the 10-year note auction. That's going to be interesting to watch. We've been seeing some auctions of treasuries that have gotten close to failing. They haven't completely failed, but they've been struggling. And we just saw one of the auctions that we had, I think last month, had one of the longest tails that we've had since basically the Great Financial Crisis. And what the tail is, for those of you who don't know, I didn't know this until I'd seen this last month. The tail is basically they start the bonds off at, let's just say, 4.5%. And as you know, buyers don't show up, they have to keep offering a higher return, right? So by the end, the tail, we had the longest tail, which is, the rates ended up closing off at, let's say, started off at 4.5, ended up closing at 5% because nobody wanted them at 4.5%. So we had the longest tail, i.e., they were struggling to sell these things since the Great Financial Crisis. Hopefully I simplified that, didn't make that too confusing. But we got a 10-year note auction coming up on Wednesday, along with crude oil inventories. December CPI inflation data comes in on Thursday, so we're going to get the updated CPI lie. Then on Thursday, we also get initial jobless claims. I haven't even talked about it yet, but I've been meaning to speak on this. Last week, we got the jobs report. Terrible, terrible, terrible jobs report. It's not as sexy, so I haven't talked about it yet. But I did want to just make one point. We have the amount of people with part-time jobs is at an all-time high. I believe it's over 8 million people in the United States now working part-time. Terrible jobs numbers, and the fact that that has reached an all-time high just shows you how desperate folks are getting. They have to go out and get a second and third job. Meanwhile, the White House and the talking head pundits on CNBC want to spin this as if this is some sort of good sign of a strong economy because we have more jobs. Second and third jobs just to survive is not a good sign. You guys understand that. And then on Friday, we're going to get the December PPI inflation data, so that producer price index. And then we get a total of 4 Fed members speaking. We get crucial inflation data ahead of the January Fed meeting, which I believe that Fed meeting's on the 20th and the 21st. It's coming up here shortly. And that's going to be when we're going to get the next Fed decision. Are they going to give us another pause? Is it time to start cutting? Definitely not time to start cutting quite yet. I don't think that there's any chance that they cut. Let me know in the comments down below. How long do you think that we go before they cut rates? My prediction is that they're going to wait until summer. And between now and then, we're going to get some sort of black swan scenario that will be that catalyst, that excuse that they've been waiting for. Something's going to break. The banking crisis will, pop back up once again. That's going to give them the reason to cut rates. And I don't believe that they're going to cut by a tremendous amount. I'm looking at maybe a 75 basis points to 100 basis points kind of max is what I'm looking for them to do this year, because they can't go back to zero. They can't go back to zero like they did during 2020 unless we get hit with a simulation event that is similar to 2020 or worse, which we've talked about those scenarios. It is there. But just on a conservative basis, I think that they're going to look to cool off rates and kind of control the business cycle is now the talking point that Wall Street is running with. They've effectively won the fight against inflation, even though we know that's not true. And now the Fed's just managing the business cycle. The business cycle is already bust in many regards, but once again, they're trying to paper this whole thing over, and we see that they've effectively already rug pulled Main Street, and the market's waking up to that in real time as we speak. By the way, make sure you guys subscribe, hit that notification bell, because I got another real estate update that's going to be coming your way. I'm seeing some big flashing warning signs for this real estate market. I'm going to talk about that in a separate video. But let's talk about this video here. The title of it, Will BlackRock Do an XRP ETF? It's going to be a battle. Who's going to be the first one to issue an XRP ETF? And once again, I'm not investing in any of these ETFs. I don't invest in any of that crap. I don't even own any stocks right now. For me, it's all private equity, and then just owning the underlying assets, whether that's cryptocurrencies, digital assets, or whether that's precious metals. I want utility with no counterparty risk. So I will, thank you very much, but I'm going to pass on any of these ETFs. But the reason why it's as important is it's going to open up the floodgates of liquidity pouring into these digital assets. So this morning, Digital Perspectives, Brad Kimes, huge shout out to Brad Kimes, by the way. I will see you guys in XRP Las Vegas 2024. And he just announced that David Schwartz is going to be pulling up. Big hitters are coming through. I will see you guys in XRP Vegas. That's going to be a lot of fun. Huge shout out to Brad Kimes for putting that together. But he shared this link here from Fidelity, right? One of the biggest managers, one of the biggest firms here in the United States. And apparently they have this fund that they've already set up, or they're looking to get set up here shortly. It's AMUN Ripple AXRP ETP. And so this is one of the products here that is listed on Fidelity's website. And then I had someone else tag me in this, which we've already talked about this, the 21 shares ETP Live. And that is the exchange traded product out of Switzerland. So we already have multiple ETPs that are live in Europe. Now we're just waiting to see who's going to be the first one to launch an ETF in the United States. But what's so interesting now, we're going to get an answer coming up this week, right? We're less than a week away from an answer, whether they're approved, delayed, or denied on the Bitcoin spot ETFs. But then I think it's only a matter of time before we start to see the Ethereum spot ETF come out. And then I've been saying this whole time that you actually have the best case for an XRP ETF because you know the XRP in and of itself is not a security. You have all the facts and the circumstances around XRP very clear. We love that clarity. And the SEC loves that clarity too when they're looking over approving these ETFs and they look at, Ethereum. How can you pass a spot ETF for Ethereum when you don't know whether or not it's a security? If you can't provide that disclosure to your investors, how can the SEC approve an ETF when they themselves, Gary Gensler, cannot get up on stage or in an interview say whether or not, yes or no, is Ethereum a security? How do you approve an ETF under those circumstances? How do you approve an ETF for Bitcoin when you don't know who created it, right? And maybe they do know. Maybe they do know it was their buddies over at the NSA or whatever. So maybe they will be able to approve it. And I do believe that they will eventually approve the Bitcoin spot ETFs. But I'm just, making the case when you compare Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. XRP has full legal clarity. We know it's not a security. We know who issued it. We know who created it. We know all the facts and circumstances about it. And to me, you have a better case to get an XRP ETF approved than you would Bitcoin or Ethereum. But that's not going to stop the SEC from passing the Bitcoin ETF. I do think that we're either going to get a delay or we are going to see the initial wave of approvals come in this week. And as I've been saying, I know it's not sexy. I know it's not clickbait. I know it doesn't get folks excited to say this, even though it should, because I want you guys to be prepared and, just understanding where the market's going, whether it's up, whether it's down, should get you excited about knowing where we're at in this market. Whether it's approved, delayed, or denied, it's a buy the rumor, sell the news event. Watch out below. You just saw a glimpse of it earlier last week when we dipped all the way below 42,000 for a brief moment in time. Is the same thing coming? Yes. And is more coming? I do believe so, as far as price action to the downside. What you saw, in the first 4 trading days of this, the public stock exchange, the equity market, the first 4 days were terrible. The first 4 days were terrible. NASDAQ, S&P, Dow, they all corrected in a major way. And I believe that that's, what's coming for crypto. I believe that we've had a little bit of a rally here, right? And it's been a good time. But I think that party's coming to an end here rather shortly. Doesn't mean that we're, not entering a bull run into 2024. Absolutely not. We 100% are. But go look back. I find so many similarities when I go back and I look at 2019 We had so much momentum, so much excitement, 340% bull trap rally for Bitcoin before Bitcoin got killed by 60% in 1 month of March 2020. So as I was saying earlier, we're kind of in the same cycle right here where we had a 180% rally for Bitcoin during this during this bear market during 2023, from the lows of November 2022 all through this last year. We rose 180% for Bitcoin. Fantastic, awesome, really cool. But you have to remember where we're at in this cycle. You have to remember that this has been a BlackRock fake news rally since the very beginning, October 14th, when the fake news story got shared. So I'm just saying, be cautious, right? Don't go full leverage long like we saw so many people last week get absolutely liquidated. And I don't think that that is over. I think that that was actually just a glimpse of what's coming. So be prepared for that, and understand that one final point that I wanted to make. I dropped a video earlier this morning. It's only a matter of time, and we're already seeing that Grayscale has added XRP back to their large cap fund. That's what this morning's video was titled. The world's largest crypto asset manager adds XRP. That was the title, and that would be Grayscale, largest crypto asset manager. They just added XRP back to their large cap fund. That's great. And when you look at what Grayscale is doing with their Bitcoin trust, they're rolling it into a spot ETF. You look at some of these other large cap funds, are they going to roll some of those into ETFs? Is Grayscale going to launch their XRP trust once again? And I saw somebody in the comments pointing out how the fact that they were just now adding XRP was not a good sign. Well, that's where the damages in the SEC lawsuit comes in, right? Grayscale already had an XRP trust, right? They had an XRP trust back in 2018, 2019. And then when the SEC sued them, that's when they delisted the trust, i.e., why we've been saying that the damages are massive. And so, no, it is good. This is a good sign. And they're adding it back to their funds. It's going to be, a battle between BlackRock, Fidelity, Bitwise, even Grayscale, who is going to launch the first XRP ETF. And as I've been showing you guys with gold, it did a 5x after the ETFs got approved. Silver did a 10x after its respective ETFs got approved. The same thing's coming for crypto, and I believe it's an overall 10x of the overall cryptocurrency market cap, and XRP is going to get a piece of that. Bitcoin and Ethereum will probably get a little piece of that too, and you guys have your other favorite coins as well. By the way, I did just pick up another coin. First time that I've added a new coin to my portfolio in a long time, and I did share that with my Discord group. So if you want to stay up to date on kind of the moves that I'm making with my bag, whether that's trading, whether that's just adding spot positions, I just picked up another bag, and I did share that with the Discord group, and we talked about that yesterday in our Discord weekly call. So if you want to get tapped in with our private group, it's over at my website, zachrector.com. Other than that, guys, stay tuned. We got much more coming for you guys this week. Make sure you guys like this video, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about a XRP ETF getting approved here in the United States. Okay. Everything else is at zachrector.com, and I will see you guys in the next one. God bless you all.